The darkness, frozen waters, and Arctic cold make fishing in the north demanding. It requires commitment from those who engage in it, regardless of weather conditions. In the north, fishing is not just a livelihood, but a way of life that has been part of Finnish culture since prehistoric times. The roots of fishing run deep in the country's coastal and inland areas, and although the number of fishermen has steadily declined, the industry remains important, especially in remote areas where it supports local employment and services. Wild fish grow freely in nature, which means no climate-impacting energy is needed to raise them. It is a more sustainable option than imported fish, but it is still undervalued in many ways. In 2023, Finns consumed only about 4 kilograms of domestic fish per person, while nearly twice as much imported fish was consumed. My work is based on land-based learning, where learning happens in connection with the land, water, seasons, and the local community. It means learning from nature, its rhythms, and local knowledge, such as traditional fishing methods, fishing seasons, and the use of materials. In this work, it involves observing nature, responsibly collaborating with local fishermen, and respectfully using natural materials in art. In my work, I use materials that come from fish processing waste. Through a professional fisherman, I managed to get scales from the ID. The ID is an underrated fish species belonging to the carp family. I cleaned the scales with soap and warm water, repeating the washing process 3 times until the slime and odors were gone. When drying, the scales curled, but they remained intact and usable. They stayed the straightest longer when pressed between baking paper and plywood. I also wanted to explore dyeing the scales with natural materials. I used beets, yellow onions and their skins, red onions, lingonberries, and blueberries. I boiled the plant materials for about 30 minutes to make the dye, then let it cool and soaked the scales in the liquid. I observed the development of the color and removed the scales to dry when the shade was suitable. Northern light is not a given. In winter, it can disappear for weeks, even months. In my piece, the fragility of the scales meets the Arctic light, light that emerges exactly when it is most needed. In the darkness, light becomes a force, but also an inner fire, a spark that drives people to strive for a better tomorrow. The light source used in the work is a solar-powered, rechargeable light, which is part of the piece's sustainable concept and ecological presentation. Local communities express concern about how proposed pumped storage power plants might impact fish populations, water quality, and the future of livelihoods. The pumped storage plants planned could affect fish stocks and local fishing. Fluctuating water levels and altered flow may disrupt spawning grounds and reduce food availability for fish. Construction and ongoing operation may cause continuous disturbance to the aquatic ecosystem. Changes in water conditions could also hinder fish movement and reduce the area's fishability. All of this increases concern and uncertainty among locals and professional fishers alike. With this piece, I want to use artivism to raise awareness about the concerns regarding fishing, the clean waters of Kemijärvi, and the potential impact of the planned pumped storage power plant. This artwork symbolizes the inner light of northern fishers, their passion for their work, and for elevating the value of wild fish. Even the smallest and most fragile materials can tell great stories, like the light of a single scale, reflecting the spirit of the north. This piece is a quiet statement.